This is the Toyota GR Corolla, and this is the special edition Morizo version, which is stripped out, high performance and just more focused, though very limited in numbers. In this video, I'm going to tell you everything you need to know about these cars. It could work as a family car. The upgrades over a standard Corolla, 3 exhausts, and then the upgrade to this Morizo version over the normal GR Corolla makes all the difference. I'm going to drive them on Toyota's very own Nürburgring. Whoa! And we're also going to get a racing driver to time them around a track to see how quick they are and how much quicker this limited edition version is compared to the standard car.
Oh, bloody hell, man. What are you doing?
I'm Matt Watson, and you're watching Car Wow. The GR Corolla is powered by the same 1.6 litre 3-cylinder turbocharged petrol engine as the original GR Yaris. However, as part of its continuous development programme, Toyota's engineers have broken the engine many times, and they learnt from that, and for the Corolla they improved the engine, made it tougher, fitted new pistons and gave it some more power. So here it has 304 horsepower and 370 newton metres of torque. Should be pretty quick then. I'll now talk you through the visual upgrades on the GR Corolla. So here in the bonnet you can see we've got some air vents there. Are they real though? I need to check them with a stick of truth. So here we have Chief Engineer for the car, Sakamoto-san, who's actually giving me a stick of truth, the Toyota stick of truth. Let me just check. Yes, there we go. So these help cool the engine and release pressure from in there as well to help with downforce. Obviously, as you can see here, we've got a huge front bumper for better cooling for the radiators. Now, moving down the side, if you look, this car is much wider than the standard Corolla. So you've got 30 millimeters extra width each side by these new front wings here. Wow. Once again, we have some vents. Are these real? Yes, look at that. So, GR Corolla passes the stick of truth. Lovely. So they release pressure once again from under the bonnet. Down here we've got 18-inch alloy wheels, and the width of the wheels is slightly wider than on the GR Yaris because this is a bigger car. So moving down the side you can see the side skirts here. Like this, the GR4 little embossed logo in here. Now the rear panels are the same as a standard Corolla, but once again the car is wider and got these body panels here, just giving it some extra stance and width, because obviously you've got that wider track. Moving here to the rear, so big difference, redesigned rear bumper and 3 exhausts. So this central exhaust actually opens up above 4,000 RPM to release back pressure. Now you might be wondering, why don't you have 3 exhausts then on the GR Yaris? Reason being, its exhaust is shorter, so it doesn't need that extra functionality. Looks pretty mean. Here on the inside you have the same sport seats as in the GR Yaris. There's lots of red stitching about the place on here, up on here on the door panels as well, down here. Also you've got the sporty GR gear knob and the all-important switchable 4-wheel drive button. You've got a GR Sports steering wheel, the GR start-stop button, some bespoke GR dials on the digital driver's display, and if you look down here you've got GR floor mats and the all-important, oh yeah, aluminium sporty pedals. Nice. Here in the back, the sporty theme continues with the part Alcantara, part leather seats with the red stitching. And the all-important thing about the GR Corolla and why it might appeal to some people over the GR Yaris, it's practical. There's room in the back for adults. That's good. It could work as a family car. Another reason to have this over GR Yaris is a more practical, larger boot and a proper low cover. And under here, there's a little bit of extra storage, though the boot isn't quite as large as on the standard Corolla because look, they've relocated the battery to the rear, like on the GR Yaris, for improved weight distribution. Another thing Toyota have done to the Corolla to improve the weight distribution, though more to do with the centre of gravity, is this. It gets a carbon fibre roof like the GR Yaris, though unlike with the Yaris, it's not covered in a weird wrap. They've left it exposed, which I think is better. The GR Corolla uses the same bespoke 4-wheel drive system as the GR Yaris. So in normal driving, you have 60% of the power to the front, 40 to the rear. In track mode, it's 50-50, and in sport mode, it's 30-70. Now the car weighs in at 1,475 kilos, so it's almost 200 kilos heavier than the GR Yaris. The final key upgrades on this car are 4 additional braces, 3 underneath and 1 here in the back. It also has 350 more spot welds than the standard Corolla to stiffen the body and almost 3 meters extra adhesive. That should make it handle better. Let's find out. I'm going to test the GR Corolla on Toyota's newly opened Shimoyama Proving Ground. This 5-kilometre route has been designed to put the car under the same kind of strain as driving on the Nürburgring, only the track is about a quarter of the scale. Here we go, driving the GR Corolla, and already I can tell this track is just bonkers. Going through an elevation change here. The engine feels very familiar, the way it likes to rip through its revs. And we've got the turbo going poof as you lift off the accelerator. And it sounds the same on the inside as well, with slightly fake noises coming through the cabin, but I don't mind them. So it does feel bigger and heavier than the Yaris, but slightly more substantial and less manic. Now this course actually has certain sections to it which are not only designed to test the car when you're braking, accelerating and cornering, but also suspension comfort. So it doubles as a proving ground as well. Now here in the bends you feel that this car has more weight than the GR Yaris. 200 kilos is quite a lot, so it feels a little less nimble. Also, you've got a longer wheelbase, so it's less agile, but compared to a normal Corolla, it's just like a completely different animal. And it is a bit of an animal with this engine and the 4-wheel drive system. It's fun, but it's more grown up. I can see why this would appeal to certain people, whereas the Yaris wouldn't. As your only car, this works so much better. Now, I think the pedals are positioned better than the GR Yaris, so I should be able to have a stab at heel and towing, but I do prefer the auto rev system, so I'm just using that. Which makes my life easier. Steering's good, feels more progressive and a little less darty than the Yaris. It's like smooth, linear, brakes are strong, woo! But it feels very stable, this car. And then you've got plenty of punch for catapulting yourself out the bends. I think we need this car in the United Kingdom and Europe. This blends comfort, practicality and fun better than the Yaris. It's got a wider envelope on which it operates. Now we're going to time the GR Corolla on a flying lap around a short handling circuit with the help of endurance racer and GR development driver Masahiro Sasaki. Let's see what time we can get, Masa. Starting the clock now. Ooh. It's a short course. So, oh bloody hell, man! What are you doing? I like the way he's driving, as though he's actually in competition, and there's no prize money. Okay, it's good. Wow. Right, so we're gonna get time now. Okay, so you got a time of 42.81. So that's the time to beat with the Morizo Corolla, and we'll see how well that does later on. Now let's try a launch, time the car from 0 to 100 kilometers, also known as 0 to 62 miles an hour. On this run, the car didn't get a great launch, and it only managed to do 0 to 62 miles an hour in 6.1 seconds. That's actually 0.8 of a second slower than the time Massa got in a GR Yaris, which we filmed for a previous video. And if you want to watch that, click on the pop-out banner appearing in the top right-hand corner of the screen, or follow the QR code which should be appearing now. We will see, though, if the Morizo Special Edition version of the GR Corolla can do a much better time later in the video. Let's talk about the price, because here in Japan, the GR Corolla costs just £30,000. That's because the yen isn't particularly strong against the pound right now. If this car was to ever come to the UK, you're looking between £40,000 and £50,000. Should it come to the UK? Should it come to Europe? I think it bloody well should. But show your support by adding your request for it to come to Europe here in the comments. Why should the Japanese get all the fun? Oh, and the Americans, of course. It's not fair. Thing is, the GR Corolla can get better still, and it does with this, the Morizo edition. So it's had some significant upgrades. I'll talk you through the visuals because they're probably the least of the upgrades first. So here we go. We've got some matte silver paint, which is really quite cool. If you look here, you'll see Morizo's signature. Now, if you're wondering who that is, it's actually Akio Toyoda. It's his alter ego, his driver name. So he's signed it there on the dash. We've also got wider alloy wheels, once again forged, but you have, look, the Toyota Gazoo Racing logo on them. They look really cool. really nice. And it's on Pilot Sport Cup 2 tyres for added grip. So as we move down the back, very similar to the standard car. However, look, this is very important to show the intent of this vehicle. They have deleted the rear wiper. Fractions of a second in terms of your lap times, that. Fractions. Perhaps the biggest change though is here, look. To reduce weight, Toyota has removed the rear seats. They've even removed the impact beams here in the door because obviously you've got no rear passengers, you don't need these. And you don't need the windows to go down, so they've removed all that motor and they've replaced the switch with a little GR little plaque there. Now, in total, the weight reduction comes to about 30 kilos. So the car's gone from 1,475 kilos to 1,445 kilos. But there's some other changes as well in terms of the structural rigidity. Probably noticed this big brace bar here, and there's another one here. So you've got extra chassis bracing plus an extra 3 meters of adhesive just to make the chassis even stiffer than the standard GR Corolla. Here on the inside, there are just a few changes. The first, new, thinner bucket seats. Really grip you better than the standard seats. Lovely Alcantara on the steering wheel. That is a win for me. And we also have red here on the gear selector with Alcantara. Plus, look, like in the back, you have this little plaque with GR on it made out of carbon fibre. Small differences, but the steering wheel makes all the difference. You might think, oh my God, all of this stuff is great, but the car is less practical. However, in some ways it isn't. You see, there's enough space in here now for 4 tyres. Yeah, see, makes perfect sense. The Morizo also gets an uprated engine. You've got the same 304 horsepower as the standard car, but torque is up from 317 to 400 Newton meters. They've also changed the drive system slightly, so you've got lower gear ratios and a lower differential ratio, just for improved acceleration. Here we go then in the Morizo version. In Japan, it's equivalent to £40,000, but if this was ever to come to the UK, you'd be looking at between 50 and 60. So is it worth the extra? Well, the feel of the Alcantara steering wheel it's so much nicer, makes the car feel instantly sportier. Even though no more horsepower, you do feel that extra torque. You definitely do, it just feels a little bit punchier. This car seems to make a bit more noise as well. I don't know if they've stripped out a bit of soundproofing, but it seems to just be a little bit rawer. The seats really do help hold you in place better than the standard seats. And there's something about it, I don't know what it is, the front end just feels sharper, grippier, a bit more responsive, probably to do with the suspension changes, those monotube dampers, but maybe also increased wheel size and Pilot Sport Cup 2 tyres. This is the killer turn, which really, well, whoa, look at that. So that is the corner that gets tighter and tighter, and it really showed there. This just seemed to grip better than the standard car. Didn't want to push on so much. If I had the opportunity to have this for £40,000 and the standard car's £30,000, I'm paying the extra 10 for this without a shadow of a doubt. It feels closer to the GR Yaris in terms of how manic it feels. It's amazing. In fact, having driven this, I wouldn't want the standard car now. So if they do bring this car to Europe and you've only got enough for the standard car, never, ever, ever drive this one. Absolutely do not do that. The question is though, how much quicker is the Morizo edition of the GR Corolla on a flying lap compared to the standard car? Here we go then, Corolla Morizo edition. Starting the lap now. Ooh. Seems to corner flatter and have a bit more grip because of those Cup 2 tyres. Whoa, this feels quicker already. Oh, yeah, this is definitely quicker. Come on, Massa, come on. Oh, that was sweet round there. Go, 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 go. Yes, 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 yes. Oh, 41.62.
Okay.
More than a second on such a short track. Wow. Good driving. Now let's see how quick the Morizo edition of the GR Corolla is from 0 to 62 miles an hour.
3, 2, 1.
That was quicker than in the normal GR Corolla.
So then, what's my final verdict? Well, Toyota should definitely bring the GR Corolla to Europe and the UK, and they should also bring this version, the Morizo, because if I was to buy one, that would be the one I get. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, give it a like. Click on the video window somewhere to watch some more videos. Click on the Carwow logo for a special surprise, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel. Thanks for watching.